Hey guys, welcome back to Piper's Pop-Ups and Vintage Campers. I wanted to show you the progress we made on the walls this weekend. It's spring break here. We had a lot of work done this past week. The last video showed us framing these walls. That was a real challenge due to the rot and a lot of the missing parts. So I started with the street side wall, which was 90% complete. Had to do some guessing on the bottom sill there by around the wheel well because it was gone. But once we got this one built, we were able to use it as a template for the door side. The overall shape of each should be the same, even though the openings and the layout of the framing would be different. Then once we got both frames built, we laid the original skins over it, and it was still off a little. That's the thing about these campers. There's always somewhere to tweak, so we had to do some sanding and some shaving, but we ended up with two virtual mirror copies of one another for the actual shape. And yesterday we started putting this plywood on. One of the reasons I wanted to show you this was we couldn't find plywood anywhere. Finding 1/8" plywood is near impossible. There's some 1/4" out there, but most of it's just a plain maple or birch, or not even maple, sorry, just birch, like boring wood. This had just been delivered to Home Depot, and we snatched it up because there were people lined up to grab it. Our local hardware store didn't have any plywood at all. So this came in, it's a pine, and you can see all the character and the knots and the grain, and we just loved it. It's just shy of a 1/4" thick, but it's not quite an 1/8 either, so it was easy to work with. We put it on the wall, sanded it up, covered up all the nail holes, etc., etc., cut out the windows and the doors. And we have 2 coats of a satin poly on it now. I don't know if you can see the sheen. It's going to be real low. We didn't want it shiny. We didn't want it yellow. We didn't want to use a amber shellac. I know there are purists out there who are probably cringing, but this is what we wanted. And by the way, this isn't for us. We have, as you can see, we have 4 campers as we speak. We have 2 pop-ups, 2 vintage. So we're good on the camper front. We bought this one to see how it would be to rebuild one of these versus these. We've done 4 of these so far. This is our latest one. This is a Niagara. It'll be for sale real soon. Santa Fe we finished last year. We've camped in it, and it's for sale now. Anyway, and so far we're loving this process. It's a lot of fun. It's very difficult in some aspects, but if you're good with wood, if you're handy with a hammer and a saw, you'll do okay. So you'll notice on this wood grain, again, like I said, it's just a veneer, obviously, but there's a lot of character, a lot of knots, a lot of grain. We love that about it, and we wanted to emphasize that without covering it with a yellow or a dark stain. So that's why we went with this. The exterior of the camper is going to be yellow and white. We're going to have some yellow cabinets. I say yellow, that butter yellow, kind of a vintage yellow. We'll have the center cabinet where the stove is going to be that same yellow. We think that'll help it pop. And then everything in here is going to kind of play off of those colors. But anyway, that's the progress we've made on the walls. 2 coats of satin poly today. We'll probably do at least 2 more. Again, we're not looking for a shine, but just more of a smooth sheen, and we're close. It's also cold here today, unseasonably, so it's taking longer to dry. All right, that's where we are so far.